Project Worship. It has been a long time since videos, and I want to start off by apologizing for that. Life's been crazy lately, but guess what? We are so back, and I am so excited to continue to share the Bible with all of you. Today we're going to be reading through Hebrews chapter 12, about halfway through verse 5, down until verse 7. So it is going to be a great reading today. We're going to be talking about the problems. Well, you already know what we're talking about. You read the title of the video. We're going to be talking about the problems in your life and how following God, doesn't really solve your problems, but it solves your future. So it's kind of a hard topic to get across, but what God basically does when you follow Him is He's going to test you. He's going to test your faith. He's going to really see how much you really truly do want to follow Him, and you want to live with Him when you eventually pass on from this earth. So let's open up our Bibles. Let's get to once again to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 5. And again, it's about halfway through verse 5, and you'll really see where we start. It's kind of in like a little quote kind of section there. So you'll see where we're starting. So it starts, this reads, my child, don't make light of the Lord's discipline, and don't give up when He corrects you. For the Lord disciplines those He loves, and He punishes each one as He accepts as His child. As you endure this divine discipline, remember that God is treating you as His own children. Whoever heard of a child who was never disciplined by its father? And so this verse can be taken in a couple ways, but the way I want to teach it today is really just, following God. I kind of said it in the intro, but following God is not going to solve all of your problems. In fact, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing whatsoever. Do not get me wrong here. In fact, it's probably going to cause more problems. But guess what? These problems are good problems. These aren't your problems that are like the not very severe problems that you see, in your everyday life of like, oh, I lost something. Or like, it's not going to be those things. It's going to be problems that are good to have. It's going to be things where you are truly tested in your faith. Say you've, and it's hard to say this without, kind of contradicting myself. Not really contradicting. Again, I don't really know the word. But you kind of just, when you follow God, I'm going to say this again, and I know I've said it already a lot. When you follow God, you're going to take on more problems. But as Christians, that's what we are supposed to accept when we do begin to follow God. That's what we're supposed to accept. Because as we go through these problems, we gain knowledge. And the book of knowledge, in case you're ever looking for one, it's Proverbs. So go read Proverbs right now. If you're looking for wisdom, you're looking for knowledge, you're looking for everything that you might need in order to live a godly life instead of a worldly life, go read Proverbs. Not sponsored. But, God's going to put us through these to gain wisdom. He's going to put us through these to gain that wisdom to tell others, to spread His word, to really show, what His grace, what His love can do in our lives. And once you go through these hard challenges, at the time you're not going to like it, you're not going to understand, right? But, and I've talked about this before and how, keeping with God through these problems is really also not only going to set up others to maybe start their journey with God, but also it's going to set you up for your future. And here's why. Because now you're going to have, like I said, you're going to have this entire sheet, this entire book of data, of wisdom, of everything you need for your future. And in order to live that godly life, in order to spread the word, in order to shine God's light through you, just as He did with Jesus, that's what is going to need to happen. So at first, you're going to see problems. Not even at first. Throughout your entire journey with God, you are going to see problems, right? You're going to have issues that you run into, and I can directly relate this to sports, right? Like, I know probably a good amount of you guys watching right now, maybe not, but probably a good amount of you guys watching right now probably play or have played a sport. And through the losses, through the hard times and the droughts and all the things in sports, it gets hard to continue to believe that you're going to succeed. And I'm not saying that sports are all about success. And I'm not trying to get off topic here. But when you build a team, and I know that's what I'm trying to do right now, when you build a team around Christ, you're going to be so much stronger together as a family. Now that you know, losses aren't the end of the world. In fact, they're great lessons. And that's how it is throughout life. That's why sports are so great. They teach us such great lessons. And so, kind of getting through these problems, it's all going to be worth it because your future is going to be set up perfectly. Non-Christians, people who don't follow God, are not going to get through these problems as well as you will. They will resort to things like the terrible things like drugs. You list them on like whatever, they're gonna, go to the smoking, the drugs, all the things. And so, but you as a Christian, you're gonna go to God. That's why this nice little thing, am I holding it right? Yeah. This nice little thing called the Bible was created. You're going to be able to see all these different perspectives of Jesus's life. And you're going to be able to learn what he's done, and you're going to be able to get through these problems just as Jesus did as he was here on earth. So guys, I truly believe that today's the day that you're going to finally be able to truly face these problems. You're going to be able to let go of them. You're going to be able to give them to God. One of my favorite phrases ever is give it to God and go to sleep. That is one of my favorite phrases ever. And if you don't already, that's one of my favorite ways to go to bed at night is it is my favorite way to go to bed at night. You give everything to God. I went to a high school camp this summer, and we talked about, like imagine you're sitting, right? And you're sitting on a chair, and there's just a river beneath your feet, and you take all of your burdens, all your stress, all your worry, and you throw it there, all your problems, as we've been talking about. So guys, give it to God, right? That's one of the best ways it is the best way to get through it. And again, guys, you are going to get through it. Put your trust, your faith in God, because getting through these problems is going to lead you to your future. So let's go ahead and pray. I'm also going to throw another thing in there in our prayer today, for those victims of the recent hurricanes of Milton and Helene. So we will be praying for them as well. So not to catch you all off guard, but that's what we're doing. So let's go ahead and pray. Hey God, I pray for everybody watching this video right now. I pray for them that you just bless them, right? We, as Christians, it's sometimes hard to get through these problems that we've talked about, but because we feel like we're at higher standards when really all we need to do is just give it to you, God. All we need to do is just trust you and follow your guidance that you gave Jesus. We gotta trust you to give that same to us, and we know you will. So God, we just pray that you come into our lives, and you just calm us. You bring us that kind of just sense of security that we can have when we follow you. That we're going to maybe we're gonna have problems here in the now, but in our future we are going to be brought with so much joy, so much happiness from your love, and it's all going to be worth it in the end. So God, I also want to pray for those involved and who are victims of the hurricanes Milton and Helene. They've impacted Florida and North Carolina especially, and so I want to pray for those who are involved in that and victims of it. And I pray that you bring them closer to you, and that this may be just one of those problems that they're going to face to really test their faith, and they're gonna be able to continue to look to you, and they're gonna be able to feel your love still, and be able to rebuild and just continue to focus their life on you. So God, thank you for waking us all up today. Thank you for giving us a purpose to spread your word and spread your love and show it to others, just like you did with Jesus. And in Jesus' name, amen. So that's going to wrap it up for today's episode, guys. It feels so great to be back with Project Worship, and I can't wait to see y'all next week. It is going to be super fun. I got another great lesson in store, so I hope you guys are excited for that. So, once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Thank you guys for spending a couple minutes with me today. Thank you guys for spending a couple minutes with God today. I hope you guys got something out of this lesson that you can take into your everyday lives as the usual. So, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week. God bless.